Yeah. But you can look up and see the tree, and it's clearly leaning that way, right? So that's probably going to be my easiest route to test that. Okay, so I determined my direction. Now I want to look up and determine which way there's any side leaning. Okay? With a live tree, it's real simple. Just take your hands, look up, and put them at the farthest point on this side, farthest point on this side. Without looking, just pull them together, bring it down, and whichever side of the stump that you're on is where the tree's leaning. So, and the reason that's important, if this tree was leaning this way, and over here is where I want to finish cutting, would that be real safe? The tree's already wanting to fall this way. So you always do your last cut whenever the tree's about to fall on the safe side of the tree, which is going to be this side. Hopefully don't fly apart everything up. So,
in his escape route, it's going to be back in a 45-degree angle to put him right through here. Why come off at 45, not straight back?
Because it kicks back.
It can kick back and land on you. It can roll. If it goes out and hits something and it busts apart onto that poplar tree, you have a chance of getting what we call blowback. And some of that blowback can be about that big. If that stuff hits you, it hurts. I mean, it will take you off your feet. I've had guys dislocate shoulders, break shoulders, ribs, legs. Nine just broke his leg. Same thing, blew back him down, caught him right there, and they had to take him out on the backboard last week. So,
last week, yeah.
2 weeks ago.
It was last week.
Last week?
That's when the fires were.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Has anybody ever seen these lines on top of these saws? What is that? Huh? Yep. That's what you aim with. It's just like a gun sight. Okay? It's perpendicular to the bar. Okay? So if I set this, when I cut my notch is what's going to determine the direction of the fall. Okay? So when I set this in here, and I aim across that, whenever I cut down in there, that's going to tell that's where the tree's going to fall. Okay? Now you have to compensate for lean if there is any. This one's leaning just a little bit that way. We're going to try to just slide it in right there beside that bigger poplar or oak tree right there. So, see this little limb right here? Everybody watch that as it falls because it may throw some stuff back. So we'll be standing. Everybody stand back in there when we go to fall. But I'm going to go ahead and cut a notch and you can look at that. So,
I'm going to try to talk over top of the saw as he's cutting and tell you what he's doing.
how you start a saw? Take it, sling it out there and start it. It's easy, isn't it? Now always set the chain brake, have 2 points of contact. And this is how I choose to start it, just wrap my leg around it. I've got a point of contact here, point of contact here. When it starts, if it's a cold start, a lot of times the throttle's locked in halfway. Whenever that starts, it'll jump with you, so you got 2 points of contact there to hold it. But don't drop start it.
Work area, we want to do the top cut with face knocks first. So you get the saw lined up. About 8 foot diameter of the tree. And then you're going to do the bottom cut to make the face knock. That's going to dictate which way it's going to go. Alright, walk up for this. Show you what you done. Alright, well, come up here. I don't feel like you on today. Get around when you say this. There will be a quiz. You see how all the way across this, both cuts match up perfectly? Now, if one would go past that, that's called, we call them a Dutchman cut, or a bypass cut. What happens if this one of these lines will came back either down or this way, when he starts cutting, that thing closes up, his trigger will be about 40, 45 degree angle coming down, it will pop the hinge and the tree just goes wherever it wants to. But because this is all together, this hinge will not break until these two meet, which should put this almost on the ground or a foot from the ground. So when he lets it go, watch, and this, you'll see that he sets up the hinge here, it will break when this closes because it'll pick it up.
This is an open face notch, which means the opening cut is at about a 70-degree angle, and it's better to come up at an angle, but I'm kind of lazy and I just come across, but it's 70 degrees, this opening is, which puts that tree almost on the ground before anything snaps here. The more conventional cut, which is about a 45-degree opening, the tree will be at this angle when the hinge breaks, and then it's free falling. What if it hits something back there? Where's it going? There's no hinge here to hold it anymore.
It'll kick back.
It'll be coming straight back. That's why we run at a 45-degree angle away.
Keep going. You going plunges? No, yeah, no.
I'll try it. It may go before it, because it's kind of rotten back here.
Yeah.
So
Plunge cut
I'll
he'll
plunge.
come in this way to set up his hinge, or he can just come straight back and start putting his hinge in. And as you're cutting, the tree starts going, you got to hurry up and cut in and get your hinge set. Because if you don't, if you have too much of a hinge, it will split up the tree and this will fly back and take your nose off.
And what I'm wanting to do here with this hinge is you want this hinge thickness. It means from here, I'm going to plunge in right here. Okay, and I'm going to create a hinge, just like a door hinge. And I don't want that to be any more than 10% of the diameter. So this tree is what? 12 inches? Okay, right here, diameter. So I don't want that to be any more than 1.2 inches thick. Because if I get 2-inch hinge, that's when I'm starting to run the risk of a barber chair, which is splitting up. And eventually somewhere up there, that tree's going to be weak enough, it's going to bend over. Okay, and then you got all this sticking back here, and then usually it comes straight back down and it's 30 feet back there.
But on dead trees, we'll close that diameter up. Yeah, here we're going back. We make that a little bit thinner because a dead wood behaves differently than live wood. So we try to compensate. It's a skill in the field that you have when you cut these trees to make yourself safer. You got to cut all up. You got to cut a lot of trees to get that feel to know what the saw's doing, what the tree's doing. And you start picking up on very minute movements of the tree and what it's doing.
You'll notice when I cut my notch, I cut it back to about a third of what this tree is. If I set this thing in thirds, that's the first third. I cut that deep. What you want is a hinge that is 80% of the diameter. So 12-inch tree, what's 80%? 10 inches, somewhere in there. So I want at least a 10-inch hinge here. And it's close. Like that. So, as they go. I'm not taking a shower.
That probably did more than scared them.
Whenever I do my hinge thickness, how am I trying to say this? My back cut should be level with the bottom of my notch here, or slightly above. You don't want it below, because when the tree hits, it could still come back. Okay, you want it slightly above. Now, in our fire classes, they teach us 2 to 6 inches. 6 inches is too high for hardwoods, because if you notice, hardwoods have flared butts. If you look at them, they got root spurs and they got flares. Pines, which is where this western fire stuff come from, they're pretty well just grow straight out of the ground. Okay, what happens is you got wood fibers that are way back here, and as they come up into the tree. Okay, if I'm clear up here cutting my back cut, I may be cutting wood that's right here. So I'm cutting my hinge away. There is no hinge anymore. So always just about level or just slightly above, about an inch is perfect.
Any more than an inch, you get to the danger zone. If you get up to 2-3 inches, you might as well just flush cut it off. I've had guys kill themselves by doing that.
Yeah, because once you cut that hinge, if it's got back lean, it's going backwards. Completely opposite of what you want. So that hinge is what's going to hold the tree as it falls. So.
All right, you ready to drop? They're out.
They're out?
They're
You sure?
Yep, 3 went in, 3 came out.
All right.
Okay.
Nobody else in, right? This is my trigger wood. Okay, that's still holding this tree. I go to lunch now, come back, the tree should be still up there. Okay, this is why this is safer than just coming in, coming back, and starting my cut. Because once I start, I've got to finish, don't I? So that's why this method is a little safer. So
Just demonstrate the wedge.
yeah,
You don't need it.
if I'm going to reset the wedge, this is the time I do it. Okay, I can come over here. Just peck me a wedge in. That way, if there was any back lean I didn't account for, once I cut through the tree, it wouldn't come sit down on my saw and hitch me up. So then I can just drive this wedge on over until the tree finishes. So,
Just in case.
I think we're good. It's gonna be close.